Okay, and just like that, we are back again for another one. So, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Captain Cody Davis here with you guys again, as always. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you clicking on the video here this morning or this afternoon, whenever it is that you get around to watching this, or whenever it is that I get around to uploading this. Because I live in the town of Belle Glade, Florida, and our internet it's been extra awful. It's been worse than it typically is, and it's already pretty bad. But I don't know what's been going on, if it's the storms or I have no idea how any of that works. But me and Breezy got married in 2018, and I think Belle Glade got internet in like 2017. So, and it seems like it because the internet here is horrible, and it's different with different platforms. Like if I stand in this room of the house, my Instagram refreshes, everything's like this. If I go out to the other room, Facebook works like crazy. My text messages send quicker, and then TikTok just doesn't work at all. So any of you that follow me on TikTok, I don't post a lot on there, and it's not because I don't want to. It's because uploading it's nearly impossible for some reason. Now, if I go down this Canefield Road in my golf cart to like the county line, it'll upload, but nothing else works. And then YouTube, sometimes I can upload a 45-minute video in legitimately 4 minutes. And then for the next 6 months, I'll try to upload a short, and it just won't upload. I'll let it sit uploading for 36 hours, and it'll load 3%. I have no idea what's going on with the internet out here. I've had people, I don't know. It drives me nuts. So doing these videos is a struggle. Doing them is not a struggle, but like uploading them is a pain. And here's the deal. Like a lot of you guys think I'm tech savvy or know what I'm doing with this stuff because I have a YouTube channel. I know absolutely nothing. I edit all of this stuff on my cell phone. I'm actually being fully transparent with you guys. I film these videos on my cell phone. I don't know. So I'm not tech savvy at all. I have never filmed a single one of my videos. I shouldn't say I have never edited a single one of my videos on my channel with any kind of editing software on a computer. It's all done on an iPhone 11, I think I have. So, yeah. But it's working. So I appreciate you guys following along, and I appreciate all of you that have been with me since day one and everything. Support the channel, book trips, whatever it is. So we are part of the reason, well, that's pretty much the reason that I am here making this video today, because over the last 8 or 9 days, I have been slammed with text messages from you guys asking when the next video is coming out. And kind of more specifically, they've been wanting a fishing report video. You guys really like these, and I think I'm going to a big part of the reason I don't do them very frequently is I don't want to sound like a broken record. And a lot of times, especially this time of year in the hotter months, the lake's way more consistent. Like things don't change as rapidly as they do in the fall and in the winter, right? If you take 4 days off this lake in December, it's over. You're starting from scratch. And this time of year, things are a little bit more consistent and last a little longer. But I guess there is always things to touch on and stuff. There are other guides. There are other sources to get good fishing reports. I know Steve Daniels does, it seems like one a day he posts on Facebook. Every time he goes in depth, and he's been out here for forever, and he's got some good information on the lake there. Roland Martin Marina does a fishing report. I think it's like once a week. I know Justin Jones does it. There's a bunch of people that do it. So there are other sources, but I appreciate you guys that love listening to mine and whatever I have to say. So I think I'm going to try and pick a day. And it's hard for me to do that though. I know my schedule is crazy. Not even with work. That's not like a I'm too busy to film thing. It's I'm too busy to film. It has really nothing to do with work. The kids, me and Breezy are out of town a lot, or in the Keys, and coming up we're going to be in Georgia, and we've got our 3-year-old's going to start school. We've got our schedule it's crazy. I was talking to my buddy Mike Saliba today. We went on a trip. He was getting a new motor dropped on his boat over at Jolly Rogers Marina, putting a new Mercury on his boat. He said, "Are you open? Take me fishing on your boat." Well, my boat's getting a new engine put on it. So we did. And I always like fishing with Mike. He's traveled the country fishing tournaments, fishing BASS, fished with a lot of guys, and he's just a really good, like he's just a good person. And I'm not like kissing ass here. I don't even think Mike knows I have a YouTube channel. But me and him have been fishing together for, gosh, I don't know how long. And I've learned a lot. I have learned just as much from fishing with Mike as he's fished, as he's maybe learned about the lake from me, because he's traveled and very humble, just a very good fisherman. And it's always fun to fish with him because it's not a guide trip really at all. It's just he wants to kind of compare notes and ask questions about certain things. And because he always says, this lake has my number. And I have no idea where I was going with this. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, we were talking about scheduling, and we just talk about what's going on, how you been, and I said, yeah, I just got back from the Keys. And he's like, are you guys ever home? Because he'll fish with me during deer season when we're up in Georgia, like every weekend. And you drive 8 hours to go to Georgia for 36 hours and come home, and we're just all over the place. And I think when I married Breezy, living in Belglade, it's not a big town at all, and to go out to like decent restaurants and what have you, you're driving an hour. And Breezy just got, and her family, it's just a regular thing. An hour is nothing. And for me, it really wasn't either, because I was snook fishing a lot. I'd drive from Deerfield to Jupiter, Deerfield to Stewart, Fort Pierce every other night. So we drive a lot. We're always gone around, whether it's Georgia, whether it's the Keys, whether we're over on the West Coast for something. We're all over the place. So me venting, and just not even venting, just rambling here. I don't know if I could really do one every week on a day, but I am going to try and do one of these once a week. And I know I've been saying that, but really since I probably started the channel, but I'm really going to make an effort to not only do one of these videos a week, I'm going to try and really upload more. I've been really slacking. And I think a lot of times, or the big reason for it is I don't want to upload BS, if that makes sense. I want to, and I don't plan anything to film. If an idea comes to me at a tip, like, oh, people might like that, or the fishing report, or, I just kind of come in here and do it. And that's why sometimes I'll upload 3 videos in a week and then nothing for a month, which I feel like is okay. But I really need to make a valiant effort to like be a little bit more consistent and post more, because that's how I'm going to grow this channel. And I do want to grow it. But I'm very picky about what I post. The cringe factor on YouTube nowadays and social media is at an all-time high. People are just posting and just, again, I say it all the time. Those people are building a platform. They're trying to get as many clicks as they can, and that's great. But I'm so far behind the 8 ball with something like that. I don't think I'll ever have an extravagant YouTube channel as far as subscribers and views. And that's fine. But I really have to select and really pick very good content to put out, where I carry myself well, where the people that I'm looking as to be potential clientele, I need them to look and be like, I'll pay this guy to take me fishing. Like, holds himself very well or sounds professional. I'm not, but I try to sound it. And so I got to carry myself in that way, because this isn't my primary income. People like you watching these videos and deciding to pay me your hard-earned money for me to take you out on Lake Okeechobee or the Everglades, wherever it might be, is where I make my living. So whereas they can get away with looking like something stupid, because you might just click on them for entertainment, like, look what this jackass did, whatever it might be, sinking a boat or what have you. If I put a video out like that, chances are no one's going to book, because if I look irresponsible or something on the water, or like a kook, you're not going to book a trip with me. And I don't do those things regularly, so I'm not going to go do them for clicks. So, but I need to just try and make it. I want to grow the channel. I want to grow my reach. And I really do. I feel like there's potential to grow it. To what extent, I don't know. But, that just opens a lot more doors. So I'm going to try and be more consistent. And I'm really going to try and do a fishing report video once a week. Even if I feel like nothing's changed I'll do it, even if they're 4 minutes. Like I'm probably already up to like 20 minutes on this of me just rambling. I haven't even talked about the lake yet, but I'll. It might be, hey, nothing's really changed. This is what's going on. Have at it. But so that's why I was waiting, like doing one a month. But we're gonna try and get more consistent. Also, let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see on this channel. I feel like as much as I love fishing this lake, I do. I love it. I love this lake more than anything. Um, I feel like the only way for me to really grow the channel is to venture out a little bit, try posting some more stuff. But it's funny, like I'll upload videos of tarpon or whatever, and you guys don't want to see it. But I do that because I try to, you might get 8 or 9 or 10 more subscribers or 10 more people to find your video through a bluegill video or through a whatever it might be. And then they follow over and they're like, oh, this guy's a guide on Okeechobee and helps my business. But we're going to try and do some different stuff. I really want to. I'm just trying to figure out how to incorporate it. But anything you guys specifically want to see, if you guys want to see more tip videos, if you guys want to see more reports, whatever, leave it in the comments. I'm not a viral YouTuber. I read all my comments because I don't have that many of them. So, but yeah, either way, today is like August 5th, 4th, something. We're in August already. Insane. I think I said this in another video, but someone told me when you have kids, your days are long and your years are short. And it was it's almost Christmas. It's crazy, insane. And I don't judge my years by Christmas or anything. I judge my years by like fishing related stuff. Like right now, it's like it is 1,000 degrees and we're doing this, but in 2 months, not even. So in 5 weeks, we're going to be thinking about spawning fish. Crazy. Summer's like already over. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm ready for summer to be over. I don't know if it's me getting older, but this heat, it's getting me. I mean, to the point where I'm having to change kind of like my lifestyle, I guess. Like I'm trying to make a really good effort and good run at. I've been in fairly good shape my entire life. I'm 33 years old. I've got 2 kids now, and I used to be very active, mobile, whatever you want to call it. I was in good shape, but over the last probably 2 or 3 years, I've kind of just not cared. And over the last year, I could feel myself starting to feel it. I'm on the water every day, whatever it is, playing with the kids on the ground, whatever it is. And I was talking to Mike about that today. Like, man, like I'm 33, but I feel 53, and not a hell. Like I feel it already. And we got talking about my plans, how long I plan to guide, and if I'm being honest, I want to guide my entire life. It blows me away every day how much I truly love my job. And again, it's people like I had today, my buddy Mike, all these customers that are friends. I hate to even call them customers. They do pay me because I have to be paid because this is how I rely on paying my bills. But they're friends. You're friends. And it's the people I'm in, taking these people fishing, the experiences we have. Yesterday, a trip yesterday was why I guide, and we'll kind of get into that. But I want to guide for as long as I can. Maybe I lay off of it a little bit if I can get some other forms of income coming in, which is something me and Mike were talking about and what have you. And if I didn't have to guide as much, but I always want to guide. And any of you that listen to any of my videos remember me saying, if you would have asked me 15 years ago what the worst possible job in the world was, fishing guide would probably be number one. I don't want to take people fishing. I want to go fishing. But I love it. I really do. And it's challenging at times, but I truly love it. So with that, I need to keep up with myself. I need to keep myself healthy. I am in the worst shape. And I am not exaggerating. My wife is laying in bed, but I can go wake her up and she could tell you. I said, I need to start. I am so tight. I have no mobility. I don't eat like garbage, but I love to eat. I tell people I live for two things: it's catching big bass, flipping a jig in reeds, and food. And when I eat for a village. My portions are all out of whack, and now I'm not at the age where it just burns off of me in a day. Like I'm holding on to it, I'm gaining weight. I just feel like so. Started stretching every morning. I'm doing small little cardio workout. Like just trying to just I got to keep up with it, and a big part of it is this heat. Um, I mean, I feel like garbage when I get off the water every day. This heat, I mean, the heat index I think today was 114. And it's hot, no wind, just uncomfortable. And you're going to be uncomfortable either way. But when I'm already uncomfortable, even when it's comfortable outside, and I'm just not in the best shape, and I mean, it's killing me. So yeah. With that being said, it is hot. The lakes, it's unbearable out there, really. But as far as the fishing, it is so like I just got through saying about why I don't make a video every week. It's because typically in the summer, things are very consistent, which is why I like the spring. And what I mean by that is like late September through early March, you're one cold front away from a reset button. This water got muddy now where you were catching them. You got to move around. Where are these fish being caught? And you're scurrying to find fish. It's very, you got to be on the ball. Once mid-March, April, May hit, the winds lay down, switch out of the south. We don't get a lot of big blows a lot of time. Things are consistent. If you find fish out here on Monday, chances are on Friday you can go back there. So a lot of things don't really change. And then that kind of follows through with the summer. But it's been very consistent, but it's been consistently tough. I mean, it's been a lot of burning fuel for me, and it's been a lot of run over here, catch a fish, maybe you don't, run over here, get a bite. Oh my God, I got 3 bites. I killed them here. Not finding big groups of fish, at least in my experience, and you're just having to just junk fish Lake Okeechobee, which is not the way you typically are successful, but you're having to make it work because it just is what it is. So I was in the Keys. I was away for a little while, but I think I've been out there like 3 days since I've been back. And it's still tough. It is a grind. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to exaggerate. I don't remember the last time I did a video, but like every trip has been completely different. I ran a trip the other day. I think we caught 1 bass in 4 hours, and there was nothing happening. The very next day, I took a group of 3 out. I think we caught 6 bass all day. We caught all 6 of them 4 miles apart. Every fish was caught on a 7-inch gambler back at you burner worm, but we caught 1 fish at each stop, but we had 23 pounds with an 8.2. So, and I mean, crazy. Just run over here, fish for 5-10 minutes. Oh, got a bite, 8-pounder. I mean, biggest fish I've had caught on my boat. Well, since whenever Ben caught that 8.11 with me, it caught a 5-pounder here, caught a 4-pounder here. The next day, 1 bass. Just maybe we get a bite, maybe we don't. Ran a trip yesterday, kind of lackadaisical. Is that the word I'm looking for? Got to the ramp, started early, had 2 guys with me, never fished with them before. Great fishermen, great guys, had a great time. Max, if you're watching, can't wait to have you back on the boat. Just super cool. And just typically this time of year, you start on the shad spawn. The shad spawn's been very iffy. Roll out to my shad spawn spot. Nat Geo going on. Like big shad getting blown out of the water, explosions everywhere. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we should have been out here 20 minutes earlier. I should have been out here in the dark. Probably caught a dozen and had like 17, 18 pounds, all good fish, like not a fish under 2.5 pounds. Caught one almost 5, just good chunky fish, 4 pounders. And there was hundreds of fish. I mean, there was fish everywhere blowing up. They were feeding. The bait was loaded in there. So it was kind of hard to get a bite because they were focusing on the real thing, but we crushed them on swim jigs with, just a white half-ounce swim jig, dirty jigs, no jack swim jig. With we had the Gambler Little Easy and the NLBN 3.75-inch paddle tail in the back. It really didn't matter. Crushing them. Tried to flip a little bit, didn't really catch anything flipping. Went to an edge, a rock bottom, drug a worm, caught one, ran over here, fished a ledge, caught one almost 4. And then me and Mike go out today. Now, we didn't fish the same area, but we ran around just looking at new water, checking stuff, and we never caught a bass today. We completely zeroed. Crazy. And I mean, then that's just how it's been. And that's just me being honest with you guys. But I've been around the lake. Everywhere is fishable. Everything. Now, a lot of the water in the Rim Canal, kind of north of Clewiston, has gotten that real, what we call red water. It's gotten red. Same with the Harney Pond area. I know there's a tournament out of Harney Pond, I think this weekend. Like some club guys watch my stuff. I ran from Clewiston today up that way, and that water is very red. That dark cherry juice red. There's a massive algae bloom. I'm surprised the news isn't blowing it out of proportion, blowing it up like they always do. Algae kills everything. Everyone's houses are going to burn down because there's algae on Lake Okeechobee. Every endangered species, the white rhino in Africa, died because there's algae on Lake Okeechobee. And it's funny, yesterday I was sitting at my in-laws' house watching a Zona's on an awesome fishing show where he's flipping reeds in Michigan in an algae bloom. And people make it sound like the algae bloom is the worst possible thing. But anyway, there's a huge algae bloom out in front of Bird Island. Probably the thickest one I've ever seen. It's pretty crazy. My rooster tail was electric green and red. But with that being said, the amount of bait out there in front of Bird, around Horse, around Widdens, was bananas. Shad everywhere. And then once we got up in the grass, we were trying to find some flipping fish is what we were doing today. There was stuff busting. There was brim popping everywhere. We didn't catch anything. We didn't catch a bass any today. So it could have been just a horrible day. I don't know. But that water is real red. If you're like me and you don't like fishing red water, you might want to stay away from there. The Kissimmee River, the water is not red. I think the water looks the best it's looked in a couple months. Water looks good. There's bait in the river. Obviously, the river's holding fish still. It's where all the tournaments are being won. Kings Bar, if you can find Kissimmee grass, there's fish in a shad spawn there. I think a lot of the bait is a lot more prevalent. When I'm talking bait, I'm talking shad, is a lot more prevalent up on the north end of the lake. The Buckhead Ridge area, just south of Tin House, Fourth Point, there's a shad spawn going on all up and down that. You really, if you want to catch a number of fish, if you get out on the north end of the lake and go find Kissimmee grass, white swim jig, basically in the dark for the first hour, you'll catch them. Keep your eyes open, look for shad, listen for them, look for white birds, and you'll catch fish. I haven't found a good shad spawn on the south end of the lake. That doesn't mean there isn't one. But any of the fish, I am catching some like shad eaters, but they're more offshore, rock bottom, small depressions, points, throwing a lipless, a rattle trap or a spook. And we hit some of that stuff today. We actually did jump off 2 bass, I think, on a trap, but didn't put one in the boat. But the water from Widdens south, really the whole 2/3 of the lake, is crystal clear. It got a little color to it like last week from some wind, and it was good. I've never thought we'd have to struggle with the lake because it's too clean, but it's been too clean. It really has. Like we laid down on the shoal today, out past fourth pole and third pole, like out past the poles, and you could see, if you threw a cell phone on the bottom, you could read what the text messages said. The water's really clean. So with that, it makes it, you're probably around more fish than we think, but they're spooky. They're very hard. They're very smart. They're getting really good looks at the bait. And we honestly we're trying to find flipping fish. So we probably could have thrown a Senko, a worm, a fluke around and maybe caught some fish, but we kind of didn't. We were kind of being lazy. With that being said, everywhere we stopped on the shoal today was loaded with bluegill. It's August. We're coming up on a full moon this weekend. I know it seems late, but I think it's a lot like our bass. We have so many bluegill in this lake. They can't all spawn at once, and they don't all spawn at once like our bass. Same thing. Bluegill beds, fresh bluegill beds. I saw bluegill beds today where I haven't seen brim beds all year, with bluegill locked on them and more coming. So it could be a timing thing. We had that whole conversation. I've been having that conversation for the last 2 weeks with people. Timing, and I preach to you guys all the time. Timing is everything. If you guys watched Scott Martin's last video where he fished with Kane, I think they had 19 pounds. But in our last Rollins tournament, they started where the tournament was won and ended where third place was taken. And when they went to the first spot, when they left is where the winner started catching all their big ones. They had almost 30 pounds. And when they laid down in their finishing spot was right when Brandon McMillan stopped catching all their fish. Chris and Brandon already had their bag. They had like 28.5 when Scott and King got there. They had the right spots. Their timing was off, and timing is everything. So I made a lot of mental notes today where I saw brim beds, and not only the bluegill, they were vulnerable. These brim were spawning in areas, or I say areas. We were on the shoal, just hopscotching around, but they were in spots where it was like that is set up for maybe not to catch 30 pounds, but you can get a big bite. Reeds close by, good reeds set up the way they should be. We have some water in the grass now, so with the water coming up just a little bit, making those fish a little more comfortable, I could see the grass bite starting to get better. Because for the last month and a half, there has been no grass bite. It's been open water, worming, Senkoing, trapping, cranking, spooking, like I was telling you guys before. But with the water slowly starting to come up and stabilize a little bit higher, look for those fish to pull up into the grass, especially with these bluegill on this full moon. Something's going to happen kind of any day now. The September full moon 2 years ago, me and Breezy won a tournament. We had like almost 28 pounds. The Refuse to Sink tournament, which I believe is, plugging it real quick, September 20th this year. September 20th, I think. Great tournament, ran phenomenally. I have to MC it, so come fish. I'm fishing the tournament, but I'm going to be doing the weigh-in and stuff. Come fish. It's a great time, great cause. And anyway, we won that event on the full moon in September, flipping a jig out of one reed head. The video's on YouTube if you guys haven't seen it. Same thing. We didn't catch a lot of fish. I think we caught 7 all day. Found 2 or 3 bluegill beds really close together. They were essentially bedding around a reed head, and those big ones were just staging in that reed head. They'd pull up to feed, get in that reed head, and we caught them all flipping a jig, and I think Breezy caught one dragging a worm on an actual bluegill bed. So that bite, it's not too late for that bite to happen. That bite will happen. The lake was about the same level. So we'll see. But bluegill are prevalent. They're everywhere. Cichlids too. The water's very clean down on the south end. Really from Pelican Bay is clean. South Bay is clean. I poked around down in there the other day. We only caught a couple of fish, but it is clean. I don't think there's a spot on the lake right now where you can roll into and catch 25, 30 fish and have a big bag. I think you're going to be running around catching one here, catching one there. And I think when you do catch that one fish here or there, I think there's more fish around there. But they're just smart. They're getting really good looks at your bait right now. And the thing is, those fish that you're catching, they're there to feed. I think the majority of our fish are out in the lake, like miles out into the lake. That water is the cleanest it's been in 10 years. They can roam. They can feed efficiently. On top of that, I think 100% of our fish are feeding at night right now. Full moon aside, they don't need a full moon when they can see 5 feet in front of them. The water's the cleanest it's been on the lake in 15 years. So they don't need the full moon. So I think with the water being as hot as it is, I think it was 91 at 6:30 this 6:30 yesterday morning. It's boiling. So I know these fish are feeding at night. So that's what's making it tough for sure. So just because you're not getting bit in an area does not mean you're not around fish. If you see the ingredients, if you're fishing and you see bluegill beds, maybe you see a few bass swimming around, um, you leave, come back an hour later, time it right, or sit on them. I mean, I think timing is a big thing. You just need to be there when they're ready to feed. But for me, a spook, a walking bait has been a major thing. If I'm around bluegill, I've been throwing that orange belly one. You guys know I like. If I'm around shad, I've been throwing a white one. And I think again, it's a top water bait. They're not getting a very good look at it. It's a little bit more effortless for them to get than the frog. I haven't been able to really catch them on a frog. I've tried, even around the bluegill beds. A spook's been getting some more bites. If you're fishing some rocks, some ledges in the rim canal, whatever, just a half-ounce trap has been catching some fish. But the burner worm's been the deal for me. I've been throwing a burner worm. I've been going mainly the 7-inch. I have been going to the smaller one. I'll drag an ace around, and I've even been throwing a Carolina rig. And you get a bite. I honestly can't tell you I'm getting more bites on the Carolina rig versus, a Texas rig, but I've been playing with both, throwing both on 17 or 20-pound fluorocarbon, and fishing slow. Like, it's boring. I hate fishing a worm. I don't mind it if I'm throwing at something and like I'm getting bit, but bites have been hard to come by, but a worm's been the deal. So a worm, a spook, and swim jig in the morning. Once that sun gets up and that shad spawn thing's over, I'm not getting bit on a swim jig. I'm not getting touched on it. But for a shad spawn, you can't beat a swim jig. It comes through the grass effortlessly. You don't get snagged. You can put it wherever you want. We caught a lot of our fish the other morning on the very edge of the grass. We caught some of our fish as far back in the grass as you can throw, which again tells me there are fish in the grass. But we were just there at the prime feeding window, and it showed. So we're starting to get some storms every afternoon. That's going to cool the water down. It's going to start stirring some water up. So things are going to start changing. I really think this, September, October, November, I think it's going to be really good. I'm very curious to see what the lake looks like in the back. I really haven't gone, if we got any new growth. I know I saw some new cattails around Buckhead yesterday, kind of midway out, some new sprout. I mean, I don't know if we got anything crazy. The lake was almost there. It was almost there where we could have really seen some new growth. And I shouldn't say that. I think we're going to. I think like Cochran's Pass, Moonshine Bay, maybe even back in the Monkey Box, back of Horse Island, back behind Buckhead Ridge, maybe Kings Bar. I'm sure we're going to see some stuff, like some new growth. And whether we got any submerged grass, I don't know. I can tell you we've got a lot of shrimp grass. The amount of shrimp grass in the lake right now is crazy. I think that's why a lot of this water is real clean. But it's going to be good. It's tough right now, especially around the grass, because you got to remember a month ago there was not any water in the grass at all for the fish to live in. So it forced all of the fish out. And now we just have to slowly wait for them to filter in. But there's still big ones being caught. Like I said, we had an 8.2 caught the other day, which was an awesome fish. Also, my buddy Tom Mann, I haven't really talked to him. I don't know where he's fishing, but he's catching some good ones. He's been very consistent with little fish that look like between 4 and 7 pounds. Catching a big one every day, it seems like that he goes. I don't know where he's at. I know he's dragging a Senko or a burner worm of some sort, but I don't know where exactly he's fishing. But he's catching them. So they're always biting on Okeechobee. You just got to figure out where. But the lake level's at like just over 12 foot. Things are changing. It's not as sketchy to run around right now. You can kind of just still be careful, but you can pretty much get around wherever you want right now. My buddy Rich Tate, held a rosary in one hand and did a Hail Mary and Ran Boy Scout Trail the other day, said he was fine. So I guess you can run Boy Scout. I wouldn't lay down in Boy Scout Trail if you're on the south end of the lake. Just stay in it, but you can run it. I ran the West Wall Trail, whatever you call it, the channel marker 12, I think it is, off the Clewiston Channel to run out into the lake. Where I hit the fish attractor, it is out in front of that. But I just come out and kind of do a wide turn and then run the goalpost of Uncle Joe's. But you can run that trail now. I don't know if you can run the pass up on the north end. I almost did it yesterday, but I decided not to play it safe and just ran around. But I think 12 and a half is when we run the pass if you're coming out of the river. So those are my little notes. I rambled a lot. Maybe you guys took something away from this. Maybe you didn't. But if you guys want to book a trip, even if you don't want to go right now because of the heat, book your trips earlier than later. I'm changing some things up this season. In the terms of like I'm going to be running doubles. I never did it, but I'm going to open myself up to be able to do that. So if I have people that request an afternoon, that's fine. And then I'm going to be working in the morning. So like, if you have a date in mind and someone's already booked an afternoon or booked a morning, like, you could, if you want to fish all day, you might not be able to. So if you want an all day trip, get your dates in sooner than later. It's going to be good. I mean, I would think, December and January were tough this year with cold fronts, but on warming trends, they were phenomenal. We crushed them. It was great. And, obviously March through May was some of the best fishing we've had. So if you want to get those dates in, let me know. I'm taking deposits right now to hold the days. Shoot me a text. Sooner is better. And that's it. So look forward to more content coming on the channel. I'm going to upload as best I can. And appreciate you guys watching. Again, thank you guys so much for just the, I don't know, all the positive feedback and the negative feedback. If you don't already, follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. I probably post the most on Instagram. And you can keep up. I post stories on there real time, what's going on. And Tight Splice Charters on all the social media platforms. So I'm going to bed. Appreciate it, guys. And I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.